Stage 2 Pokemon haven't always had an easy time on the Pokemon TCG, a landscape filled with big basic beat sticks, offering low-to-the-ground strategies and more deck space overall. The 2010 format stands out in that regard for its variety of Stage 2 deck options, but few come close to the volume of Stage 2s that Flygon has. With 3 Stage 2 lines and 2 Level X's, FlyTerra is one of the most evolution-focused decks in the format. Flygon's game plan is to pressure the opponent's resources with a combination of healing, stalling, and milling strategies, all while setting up a board full of evolution Pokemon behind Trainer Lock from Spiritomb to create an insurmountable board state for the opponent. Torterra's Giga Drain and Nidoqueen's Maternal Comfort offer substantial healing, giving us the ability to create a 180 HP healing tank with Torterra LV.X and Expert Belt. The deck's stalling plan involves the Memory Berry tool card to allow Flygon to use the attacks of its previous evolutions. Using Trapinch's Sand Tomb attack, we can trap support Pokemon in the active to buy time, or mill out the opponent with Flygon LV.X's Wind Erosion Pokebody. Flygon's diverse game plan makes it both fun to pilot and tricky to play against, so without further ado, let's get into the deck list. Starting off, we play 2 copies of Trapinch. The Flygon line has been thinned down over the years, as Torterra takes a bigger spotlight in the deck, so a thinner 2-1-2-1 line of the Flygon is included. Trapinch has 2 incredibly useful attacks, with Inviting Trap dragging up one of the opponent's Pokemon, and Sand Tomb preventing the active Pokemon from retreating, a critical attack for the stalling plan of this deck. We play 1 copy of Vibrava. Vibrava's Energy Typhoon attack deals 20 damage for each energy in the opponent's discard pile, and shuffling them back into their deck. With 3 energies in the discard, Vibrava provides a way to one-shot Garchomp LV.X in a pinch. 2 copies of Flygon are included. Flygon functions as a pivotal attacking and support option, with its Rainbow Float Pokebody giving our Pokemon free retreat if they have the same type as a basic energy attached to Flygon, allowing for easy pivoting between attackers and support Pokemon. Flygon's Sandwall attack discards the opponent's stadium in play, granting Flygon immunity during the opponent's next turn, heavily disincentivizing the opponent from playing key stadiums like Moonlight Stadium or Broken Time Space. Power Swing also plays a critical role in dealing high amounts of damage in a single attack, dealing 10 additional damage for each evolution Pokemon on your bench. Flygon can reach as high as 130 damage with a full bench of evolutions and an Expert Belt. Rounding out the Flygon line, we have 1 copy of Flygon LV.X. Flygon's level up gains the Extreme attack, dealing 150 damage to any level X Pokemon, enough to take out almost any level X in the format. The Wind Erosion Pokebody provides the milling strategy for the deck, discarding the top card of the opponent's deck in between turns. Flygon LV.X does however come with the staggering downside of being weak to Colorless, able to be one-shot by the ever-present Garchomp LV.X, taking a knockout even through Expert Belt. Timing your level up into the Colorless matchups is key to not getting your effective Stage 3 wiped off the board in one turn. 3 copies of Turtwig are played, this one specifically because it's the only one available with 1 retreat cost, allowing easier retreating into Spiritomb. This Grotle is also played for the same reason, with the lowest retreat cost option available, able to be retreated for a double Colorless energy. Only 2 copies of Torterra are played. Torterra's Giga Drain can be powered up for only 2 attachments thanks to DCE. Giga Drain only deals 40 damage, but it heals as much damage as Torterra does. With a combined Expert Belt and Nidoqueen, Torterra can heal up to 80 damage coming back into your turn. We don't play a copy of Torterra from Stormfront, which can deal 60 damage for a DCE and cover fighting weakness for the likes of Entei Raikou Legend because of how situational it is. Torterra LV.X is played entirely for its Forest Murmurs Pokepower, effectively giving Torterra a counter catcher on a Pokemon, being able to repeatedly bring up benched Pokemon to the opponent's active provided that we're behind on prizes. Torterra does not have to be in the active for this power, allowing us to pivot it to the bench and use the Memory Berry Trapinch trapping strategy on a support Pokemon turn after turn, even if they manage to switch it out the first time. Torterra LV.X also gains 20 extra HP, able to tank even more hits with a staggering 180 HP with the help of an Expert Belt. We play a 1-1-1 line of Nidoqueen. Both pre-evolution Mons have attacks that can be helpful in a pinch, with Nidoran's Offer Help attack searching up a supporter into our hand for the next turn at the cost of 1 DCE. Nidorino's Rescue for a single energy can recover 2 Pokemon from our discard to our hand, letting us rebuild our critical Stage 2 lines. It's also worth noting that each of these have 1 retreat cost, easily pivoting into Spiritomb or other attackers to keep tempo during the game. Nidoqueen plays a significant role in the staying power of our Stage 2 attackers, healing 1 damage from all of our Pokemon between turns with the Maternal Comfort Pokebody. This body enables many strategies in our deck, healing more damage from Torterra after Giga Drain, or healing our entire board over the span of multiple turns with a Sand Tomb trap in play. Nidoqueen's attack also is very relevant, with Mega Punch dealing 40 damage for only a single energy. or the Ruthless Tail attack for just a Psychic and a DCE, dealing up to 110 damage into a full board of Pokemon. We play a 2/2 Claydol line for the Cosmic Power Pokepower. Cosmic Power is one of, if not the strongest draw ability printed in the TCG, allowing us to put 2 cards on the bottom of our deck and draw until we have 6 cards in hand. This ability is not limited to once per turn, allowing us to churn through the deck with multiple Claydol established. Baltoy isn't just an evolving basic either, with the Psychic Balance attack drawing until we have the same amount of cards in hand as our opponent, giving us another good opening attacker. 1 copy of Unknown G is included for the Guard Pokepower, allowing Unknown to be attached as a tool to one of our Pokemon, preventing the effects of attacks done to the Pokemon that it's attached to. This prevents the effects such as Dialga G/X's Remove Lost from lost zoning our energies, Ambipomp's Tail Code from moving our energies from our attackers, or opposing Flygons from trapping one of our support Pokemon with Sand Tomb. I have also considered a Bubble Coat in this spot to protect our tanky Pokemon from weaknesses, which may be more relevant than Unknown G. We play 1 copy of Azelf for its Time Walk Pokepower, allowing us to fish out Pokemon from the prize cards like our single copy of Torterra and Flygon LV.X. A full 4 copies of Spiritomb are included for the powerful Keystone Seal Pokebody, shutting down all trainer cards for both players. Slowing the game down also gives us enough time to establish our board of Stage 2 Pokemon, aided by the Darkness Grace attack, evolving up one of our benched Pokemon for no energy and only at the expense of 1 damage counter on Spiritomb. Starting off the supporters, we play 3 copies of Judge. With minimal hand disruption in the format, many decks plan on developing large hand sizes to pull off combos over the span of multiple turns. Judge helps to disrupt opponents' Cyrus Chain or limit evolution strategies from setting up, all the while sitting behind our own Spiritomb and evolving up our attackers. Being trainer locked the majority of the early game, we can lean into supporter-based Pokemon search, like these 4 copies of Bebe Search. Bebe's allows us to search up any one of our Pokemon into our hand. Putting 1 card from our hand back into our deck might seem like a downside, but in combination with Claydol can allow us to dig even deeper into the deck with Cosmic Power. We play 4 copies of Roseanne's Research as well, to help establish our basic Pokemon in the early game and search up a variety of basic energy types for our attackers in the later turns. Searching up any type of energy to attach to Flygon can activate its Rainbow Float ability, granting free retreat to any type we might need. Rounding out the Pokemon search, we play 1 Pokemon Communication and 1 Luxury Ball. Very few trainer cards are played, as we want Spiritomb to be in the active spot for the majority of the early game, but having a few trainer search options allows us to search up additional Pokemon in the later game, continuously establishing our attackers and support evolution Pokemon. To further set up our evolution Pokemon, we play 3 copies of Rare Candy. Springing any of our Stage 2s into play can protect our evolving basics from sniping attacks like Garchomp's Dragon Rush, while giving us the ability to attack and level X our Pokemon a turn earlier. We play 1 copy of Night Maintenance. With thinner lines of our Stage 2s, recycling a full evolution line, or just parts of multiple lines, ensures that we don't run out of attackers to finish the game. To further lean into our tanky abilities, we play 2 copies of Expert Belt. Belting a Torterra allows Giga Drain to deal and heal 60 damage each turn while raising Torterra's HP to 160 or 180 when leveled up. Giving up an additional prize when knocked out isn't much of a concern for Torterra, as we plan on it living multiple turns, getting at least 2 prizes of value out of it. Rounding out the trainers, we have Memory Berry. 1 copy of Memory Berry gives the deck the flexibility to turn into a stall deck, thanks to Trapinch's retreat-locking Sand Tomb attack. Bringing a Spiritomb into the active with Forest Murmurs can give us a game-winning plan, as it's one of the few Pokemon that resists Colorless, allowing Flygon to trap Spiritomb indefinitely and mill out the opponent with the Wind Erosion Pokebody. For our energy, we play 3 copies of Double Colorless Energy. While most decks playing DCE would never dream of dropping below 4 copies, we can get away with fewer, as there are plenty of turns in the game to attach our basic energies, while activating Flygon's Rainbow Float Pokebody. 3 DCE simply allows us the flexibility to get Flygon, Torterra, or even Nidoqueen attacking a turn early. For additional basic Pokemon search, we play 4 copies of Call Energy. A turn 1 Call Energy can help us set up our board before we're even able to play any of our trainer or supporter cards, getting us into the game quicker. Call Energy can be used multiple times in a row, unlike some of the more modern variations of this effect, like Capture or Telepathic Energy, further establishing our board. Finishing off the deck, we have 3 copies of Grass Energy, 2 Psychic Energy, and 1 Fighting Energy. Each of these basic energies allows us to pivot every Pokemon we have, except Spiritomb, for free, with Flygon's Rainbow Float Pokebody. So that's the list for today. I admit that it could probably be a lot more refined. Between recording and editing this video, I already swapped Unknown G for Bubble Coat, like previously discussed. In taking out the Fighting Torterra, I'm also realizing that the Turtwig count might be a bit on the thick side, but I've been content with that count as it's easier to find them in the early game. It could potentially be maybe a second Knight maintenance, but I worry about taking the attacking lines too thin. With all of these considerations, I'd like to hear from other players. How do you guys build FlyTerra? I've seen lists with warp energies, less tombs, all sorts of stuff. Hopefully we'll get back to more regularly scheduled videos. Next stop is Worlds 2006. Thank you very much for watching. This has been the Holland Scientist. Until next time.